Come on, go be interesting. Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Man Takes Shoes Out of Box, the episode where you get to sit there and watch me take some shoes out of a box and then tell you what I think of them. Today I'm going to be giving you my raw, unfiltered, unadulterated thoughts on the Air Jordan 4 Rare Airs. What a time to be a sneakerhead right now. You've got to feel like had these released a few years ago in the midst of Air Jordan 4 hype, these things would be going for like $500 on the resale market. This is a shoe that has a very similar aesthetic to it, to one of the best Air Jordan 4s of all time, the Black Cements. They come with a really interesting backstory around the whole Rare Air concept, and they're one of a select few Air Jordan 4s to feature the legendary removable tongue patch. And lo and behold, in 2025, these things are pretty much sat everywhere in full-size runs, at least here in the UK. And my bet is by the end of the summer season, you'll probably be able to find pairs of these going for under retail. So happy days. In terms of the packaging, some of you guys will be familiar with this packaging because it's not a one-to-one retro of the packaging that this is based on. It's pretty much a throwback or a callback to the original face boxes. I actually have a pair of the original Lightning 4s from 2006, man. The OGs. Some of you guys out there will recognize the straight netting and the shape right off the bat. And this is the packaging that these came in, the black with the silver. And yes, for those of you guys out there wondering, the bubble is cloudy, the midsole is cracking, but these things are still wearable. And this particular shoe, the Lightnings from 06, came out as part of the Thunder and Lightning pack, which also featured the Tour Yellow Air Jordan 4s, which was the first Air Jordan after the Undefeateds to feature the removable tongue patch, which we're also going to talk about on the current Rare Air 4s. The shoes themselves, they come individually wrapped in the packaging paper, which is a nice little touch. It just enhances the unboxing experience and makes you feel like you've got your hands on something a little bit more special. These were £189, so nothing out of the norm. Still a bit pricey, as I'm sure we'll all agree, but honestly, considering the quality of the materials that you get with this particular pair, I feel like that is a reasonable price to pay. Well, it's not reasonable price to pay, it's more like a reasonable price to expect. So these are the Black Cements. This is actually the reimagined pair, the leather pair, and these are the Rare Airs. And honestly, I feel like the Rare Airs are right next to the Black Cements, just in terms of how nice they are with the color blocking. The Black Cements will never fail to be an absolute hood classic, but these with the aged touches and the little hits of royal blue, yeah, they do something. The colorway works, in my opinion. So if you're wondering what's the whole Rare Air thing about, what's the backstory, the Rare Air is a callback to the sampling process in the late 80s and the mid 90s. As you guys know, the sampling process can often be quite drawn out and laborious when it comes to matching up the right materials and getting the sewing right and the stitching right and the gluing right. And sometimes some of the defects that happen along the way when sampling end up being features. And so this shoe and this series of shoes, which included a couple of pairs of Air Jordan 1s that released earlier on in the year, as well as the Air Jordan 3 Rare Airs. Now we have the 4s. There's a pair of 11s that are coming out pretty soon, I think, as well. These are all based on the whole idea around Rare Air pairs existing in sample form back in the day. So it's a really cool concept. It's something that has been made for the collectors out there. And the good news is, for us collectors in 2025, we have a good chance to come up on all of these. In terms of the materials, I think they did a really good job knocking up some really nice quality materials for the shoe. The majority of the black upper is composed out of this suede nubuck material, which is nice and soft to the touch. There's a nice bit of movement. You've got this nice dark gray suede panel that runs around the bottom, around the toe cap, the mudguard. You've got a really thick tongue, which has this gray lining. And you've got this really thick blue material on the liner. The tooling around the wings and the eyelets is pretty much generic Air Jordan 4 tooling, like they haven't gone Bike Air or SB4 with them. It's just your regular sort of back tab, rubberized, as well as the TPU feeling accents on the wings and the eye stays. You've got some aged hits on the midsole, which, yeah, I know is a bit tired, it's a bit played out, But considering these are based on late 80s samples, I do feel like the aged look does have a specific type of relevance to this shoe. In terms of extras, they do come with an extra set of blue laces, which are really nice actually. They kind of have a bit of a distressed look about them. But of course, one of the coolest features about this shoe is the removable tongue patch, which in my case is going to be removed to reveal the white lettering underneath. There were two versions, the white lettering underneath and the gold lettering underneath. Apparently 98% or the vast majority of pairs out there come like this one here with the white lettering. But if you did manage to get your hands on a gold lettered pair, the good news is, man, you can make some absolute bank. Lowest ask is 260 pounds, which is, yeah, a little bit more than the lowest ask on the normal pair, which is actually already under retail. Crazy. They come with a polyurethane insole, which is kind of nice, gives a nice little bit of added cushioning, which is pretty cool because obviously it's a Jordan 4. These things are absolute cinder blocks. And in terms of the fits and the comforts, I just went regular, true to size, a la the norm when it comes to the Air Jordan 4. I did find the materials quite stiff. Like when I first chucked these on, there wasn't that much flex. So I would imagine these might take a little bit of breaking in to soften up a little bit. But yeah, just regular Air Jordan 4 comfort, which is not particularly great. Regular Air Jordan 4 fit. I would just say bear with these for a couple of wears until they soften up, loosen up, and become a little bit more tolerable. And so my overall assessment of the shoe is it's a beautiful colorway, fantastic materials, really cool history behind it with the whole Rare Air callbacks. And so what explains this very nice shoe completely bricking in 2025? Well, I think there's a variety of different reasons out there as to why the demand for these has been so low. First and foremost, I get it. Everyone's broke. You know, we've all got bills to pay. Spending $200 on another black pair of Air Jordan 4s is not going to be particularly high on most people's priority lists right now. Secondly, despite the fact it is a really nice colorway with really nice materials, I feel like if you've got the black cement 4s in their original form or the 2019 release, or you've got the reimagined release as I have here, or you've maybe picked up the Fear 4s recently, or any number of the recent Air Jordan 4s that we've had, whether it's the SB 4s or the brick by brick 4s or the white cement 4s, another pair of Air Jordan 4s coming into the collection is very much going to feel like surplus to requirements. Number 3, you've also got the imminent release of the undefeated 4s, which is pretty much the shoe that most people are gunning for this whole year. And so the fact that they released these so close to the undefeateds, you've got to feel was a bit of a miscalculation. Were these brought out now as like a consolation prize to those that maybe miss out on the undefeated? And lastly, and most simply, Jordan 4 hype has fallen off. You know, a few years ago, these would have been all the rage. Now a lot of people have moved on. A lot of the peripheral participants or the pandemic sneakerheads have now moved on to some form of loafer or boat shoe or flip-flop or whatever, meaning that the general demand for these has been concentrated in and around the real loyalists, the real diehards. And so that's good news for people like you and me because it means these are sitting, they're available. You don't even need to rush if you want to take time to apportion your finances responsibly to see if you've actually got the means to splash out on a pair of these. And if you are patient enough, like I said, these could very well end up hitting the outlets or going on sale at the end of the season. And so I feel like those reasons, plus plenty of other ones as well, go a long way to explaining why these things are bricks, despite them being so nice. What do you guys think? Are you feeling the Rare Air 4s or not? Feel free to drop a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. And as always, I appreciate your support on the channel. It really means a lot. If you want to support me a little bit more, I really would appreciate it. You can become a member, you can send a super thanks, and you can also go and support my second channel, which I am trying to build at this point as well. So yeah, really appreciate it, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care for now, and peace.